Have you ever wondered how failed relationships might shape the lives of our young men? Let's take a moment to ponder this question. Relationships, particularly those with parental figures, carry a weighty influence on a young man's journey. They shape his worldview, his self-perception, and his relationships with others. Yet when these relationships are fractured or absent, the effects can be profound and far-reaching. This is a silent epidemic, often slipping under the radar of our collective consciousness. It's an issue that permeates our society, silently shaping the lives of countless young men. Yet it's not something that's often talked about or openly acknowledged. Here, we aim to shed light on this obscured issue, to bring the unseen into the open. We'll explore this through real-life case studies, giving a voice to those who often go unheard. We'll delve into the lives of young men raised to replicate their failed relationships, and the implications this has on them and society at large. Let's dive into real-life scenarios to better understand this phenomenon. Consider John, a young man who grew up without a father figure. John's journey through life was marked by a distinctive void, a missing piece that seemed to echo in every relationship he attempted to build. He found it difficult to connect on an emotional level, to trust, to truly open up. His relationships, like a mirror, reflected back the absence he keenly felt. John's struggle was not a solitary one, it was a ripple effect, a repercussion of his father's absence during his formative years. This absence, this void, shaped his understanding of relationships and his place within them. It influenced his behavior, his decisions, and his perceptions. John's story is a stark example of how the absence of a significant relationship can shape a young man's life. It's a solemn reminder that the echoes of missing relationships can reverberate through our lives, influencing our behaviors and shaping our futures. Now, let's take a look at Alex, who grew up with emotionally distant parents. Alex's story is not uncommon. Raised in a home where emotions were seldom discussed, he developed an armor of self-reliance. This shield, however, came at a cost. It made it difficult for him to express his feelings, to truly connect with individuals on a deep level. You see, emotions are the language of connection. Without them, we struggle to form meaningful relationships. For Alex, this meant a series of failed relationships, each one echoing the emotional void of his childhood. It's a pattern, a cycle, born from emotional neglect. And it's not just about romantic relationships. This cycle affects friendships, professional interactions, every connection that Alex attempts to form. It's a ripple effect, a silent epidemic that starts at home and spreads outward. Alex's case shows us the profound impact of emotional neglect on a young man's ability to form and maintain healthy relationships. So, what does all this mean for our young men? Well, let's take a moment to summarize. The silent epidemic of absent fathers and the cycle of emotional neglect are not just isolated issues. They are intricately connected and woven into the fabric of our society, leaving a lasting imprint on our young men. The echo of an absent father can reverberate through a young man's life, influencing his self-esteem, self-worth, and his understanding of what it means to be a man. Similarly, the cycle of emotional neglect can leave a young man ill-equipped to express and handle emotions, impacting his ability to form and maintain healthy relationships in his adult life. These failed relationships in childhood, they're not just echoes of the past, they're prophecies of the future, unless we take action. It's our responsibility to break these cycles and foster healthier relationships for our young men. Because our young men are not just the future, they're the now. So what can we do to help our young men break these cycles of failed relationships? First and foremost, we must encourage open communication. Let's not shy away from the tough conversations. Instead, we can provide a safe space for our young men to express their feelings, fears, and insecurities. Remember, it's okay to be vulnerable. Secondly, we need to offer emotional support. It's not just about being physically present, but also emotionally available. Let's ensure we're there to listen, comfort, and guide them through their ups and downs. Lastly, we should promote healthy relationship models. Show them that relationships aren't about dominance or control, but about mutual respect, understanding, and love. Let's challenge the traditional notions of masculinity and foster a culture that values emotional intelligence. These steps may seem small, but they can make a world of difference. They can help our young men navigate their relationships with confidence, empathy, and respect. Together we can shape a future where our young men thrive in their relationships,